So let's show you a really simple missile attack. There's nothing in the way, we're not talking about any cover or anything like that. We've just got 7 crossbowmen shooting at 5 knights here. Let's assume this is more than 10. It's a pre-measure game, you can measure at any point. So let's imagine, just for this example, that that's further than 10. I'm going to give them an order, a nice orange one to show that they will shoot. There's 7 of them. We roll 7 dice. The number on their stat profile is they need 7s to hit. So I will roll these dice and any 7 ups will hit. So let's have a look. What have we got? Excellent. They all miss. Now the dice convention in this game is 1s are always a miss, 10s are always a hit, and they're critical. All the others are below that 7, so they're misses. So I've only hit with 1. Now from the rule book, a 10 is a critical, which means it can only be saved by another 10. So once hit, then my opponent will roll to save that, and he will roll the amount of dice I've hit with. So he's rolling 1 dice to stop the crossbow. So let's see what he gets. A 5. He doesn't. So he would lose a guy. If that 10 was just a 9 and a normal hit, then it would be on his armour, and his armour is 6. So as long as I'd rolled a 6 up, his armour would save. 4. He's failed. That's not good. But he's got shields, and shields give you a re-roll, depending on the size of the shield. You can have a small shield, which is just kind of a little round buckler, through to medium shields, which is an 8+ save, right through to a massive sort of Norman kite shield, which is a 7+. So these are medium shields. He needs an 8. Nah, he's failed. So he's lost 1 guy. Because he's lost 1 guy, and one of the very clever things I find in this game is that it causes you to be pushed away from the enemy. So every casualty you take, you go back an inch directly away from your opponent plus an inch. So 1 casualty plus an inch, all these guys would be pushed 2 inches further away as they're pushed back by this hail of crossbow bolts hitting them. The last thing you would do is to indicate that they have taken a casualty. You use a die 6 to indicate the amount of casualties they've just taken. So that would be there, a 1. And that gives you a very basic attack, 1 for each person that's shooting. Any that hit, you roll 1 dice to defend against that attack with re-rolls for shields. So let's look at a hand-to-hand example. The way you initiate hand-to-hand is you charge in. So let's imagine these Knights Templar, God wills it, they're going to charge in against this group of foot sergeants here. Because they're wearing mail, their movement is 4. 4 inches would take them to around here, which is not enough. So they're not going to go straight in. What they need to do is roll an extra dice worth of movement, and the extra movement is a die 6. So you get your base movement. For these guys it's 4 plus a die 6. So let's see what they get. The range here, we measure it. You measure nearest to nearest, so that's 6 inches. So as long as these guys make a 2, they'll be in. So they're given an order, charge in. And off they go. What have we got? A 3. More than enough. So each guy can then move up to 7 towards the nearest enemy. So that basically puts them all in, every single one. Once they're in, the opponent then gets a reaction, as long as they haven't done anything this round or they're within order range so that their boss could order them to do something. So let's imagine these foot sergeants haven't done anything yet. Their choices are they could defend, form a nice tight shield wall to protect themselves, increasing their armour, or they could elect to counterattack, charge into the melee and have a whack themselves. So let's make it nice and simple. They're also going to attack back. So they're going for a red result as well, a red token. Alright, so let's work this out. Each of these knights gets a dice. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So these guys, the Templars, they're regular knights. They need 5s to hit. So I'm going to be rolling 5 dice because there's 5 of them. In hand to hand, it's all the guys that are in base to base contact plus any that are an inch away from the hand to hand. So that's all of them. These guys are in base to base and this guy is within an inch of somebody who is in base to base. So they need 5s. Let's see what they get. So they missed with 3 and they hit with 2. So those 2 hits then need to be saved by the veteran sergeants over here. And these guys, they're wearing mail. So they're going to be saving on a 6. So 2 hits, so I'm rolling 2 dice to save. Very interesting. One saved easily. This one is a fumble. It means he's got through and killed the guy, and because it's a 1, he can't use his shield. Any 1s don't allow you a re-roll for your shield. So that means one of these guys is killed. You always take from those in contact. So this guy is dead. They were counterattacking, so then they get their attacks back. So then that means we've got 4 guys coming back. Veteran sergeants will be hitting on a 5. So let's have a look, see what they get. Just the 1. So these Templars, they need an armour save. So they only hit with 1. So these Templars need an armour save. Their armour is a 5+. So anything 5 upwards gets them the save. Saved. If he had not quite made it, say he'd rolled a 3 instead, then because he's got a shield, he could actually try and have a re-roll with his shield. That would be an 8+. 10. He's saved. So the outcome of that first round of combat is 1 to these guys and none to these guys. That's a victory for the Templars, and the losing side has to be pushed back 1 inch plus an inch for every one of their casualties. So that would be pushed back 2 inches. Away they go. Makes it very, very useful in objective games when you can actually physically push people off the objective. Having won, these Templars can now decide to consolidate. They can have up to their normal 4 inches of movement in any direction. So let's imagine they want to push their case and they're going to carry on moving forwards. You can't go to within an inch of another unit, so they will have to stop an inch away. Now, because these sergeants only lost one guy, that's not 25% of their unit, so they don't need a morale test. But they still carry that one on them, and they still carry in the token for the fact that they fought this round.